Rightio, without any further ado, I haven't even taken a bathroom break or nothing. I'm just jumping straight into part C because I think this is the schnitz, if you will. I'm not a big fan of that word, but you know, it's the guts and bolts. It is the plethora of the flat earth. So what we're going to do now, for example, I went back before, I got a bit lost in my meanderings and said, here's the lighthouse. Sitting on the mountain. Here's the ocean, flat and level. Here's the viewer. The trouble is, the viewer looking at the lighthouse. And conversely, and this is the one I see the Globers do all the time, is that they'll say, well, let's say that the view of the lighthouse is on a mountain, and this mountain is way above sea level. He is going to say that the viewer is looking down at the lighthouse. That's what he's going to say. He will say you're looking down. But that, my friends in humanity, is not how human vision works. Human vision works. Let me just show you one more time. We'll just stand by this brick wall here. No matter where I put this camera, if I put it right on the line of bricks, that line is horizontal. If I put it up here, that line is now horizontal. See what I mean? It doesn't really matter about your actual height. Horizontal will always be viewing height. That's where the word comes from. Eyes on horizon. Horus. It's I don't want to go into the esoteric side of shit because I don't have enough beer for that. Oh my gosh, that's good. But what we will see, no matter where I put the camera, as I move it up or down, see the one now above the horizontal is pointing downwards. All the others are still pointing towards the same point. That is how the horizon works. And if I raise the camera, that line becomes horizontal. The lines below it appear to be rising up. So everything is an appearance, and that is why, flat earthers have learnt to use the terms perspective, because perspective is appearance. What you see, it's definitely what you get, but it's not what is real. It is the apparent view of how you see it from your perspective. So when we look at a picture like this is where it gets hard, because we know that the water is level down here, and we know that this man is looking up at the lighthouse here, and we know that this man is looking down at it from there. But this is where it gets weird, because it's not simple geometry. And that's the problem. Everyone wants to say, well, it's just simple geometry. You can work this shit out. You cannot, because the distance across here to the distance here, this one is greater. We will say that that's greater, that's less. And we'll say this fella here, if the lighthouse is only here, then this distance to here should also be greater, and that one should be less. And this should be like basically neutral. That's how people like to think. But this person down here, right, looking at here, this line to him is horizontal. So we have to redraw the whole map if we're going to see it from this fella's point of view. Now this is where everybody starts losing their nuts. They're like, but you have to think outside your square now, okay? You have to think that this fella, he's standing on the flat and level. And when he sees the lighthouse, by that point, it is also at his flat and level. We know it's not, okay? We're well aware of that. We know. But this is how perspective works. In reality, the dude was back down here. But where he's seeing it is horizontal. So this is your problem. Reality, viewer, down here, viewer height, they are one and the same. Lighthouse height, let's call it 100 meters, is still 100 meters above this dude, but it's fucking horizontal to this dude. But these two dudes are the same dude. That is the problem. That is where the globe earther has trouble understanding how perspective works, because they're both the same height, they're both the same place, and yet you are making a triangle. You've made a triangle, and you're saying that this angle of view is different from this angle of view. This one here, it's 90 degrees. This one down here, it's probably, whatever. It's 70 degrees. And if it was even lower, you could go down to 45. It wouldn't matter, because they're still seeing it at 90 degrees. They're just seeing it from a different perspective. And I know the globers love to call it flirspective. Oh, it's flirspective. That's not flirspective. It is real and actual perspective. That is what happens. Now, here we reach another challenge. I'm almost tempted to leave the same diagram here, because it's almost perfect, but we'll do it again, just to help the globeheads. The globeheads don't have a fucking clue. Now this one's going to be really interesting. Let's say this person is standing on a mountain, and the mountain is arbitrarily high. Who cares? The water, of course, is level, and in the distance there's a island. Now the thing is, the glober is going to say that this man here is looking down at the mountain. This man here is going to see the water rising up to the mountain and see the mountain up here. This is the problem. He's not looking down. He's not looking down. The water is below him, but due to perspective, all that water appears to rise up to eye level. That is the problem. So whenever anybody tries to triangulate a distance across anywhere, especially beyond the convergence point, the convergence point might be here, and so the only bits of the mountain he's seeing is up above here, but were he to be closer, standing here, he'd be able to see this much of the mountain, and only this much would be hidden. That's how perspective works. Now, okay, perpendicular line. Again, this disproves the globe, because in both cases, each of you people are going to be saying, well, it's going towards the centre of the earth, and the centre of the earth arbitrarily down here somewhere 4,000 miles away. There is no perpendicular. That's why you people go completely insane when it comes to trying to understand simple fucking perspective. The man at the top of the mountain seeing the water ramping up to the convergence point, that's what he's going to see. And he'll see that amount of mountain above the convergence point. His eye line, let's do it down here, so this is his eyes. He's got big eyes. He's looking that way. That's always going to be motherfucking horizontal. There is no way you can escape that. Let me go back and have another look at the bricks, hey? Let's have another look at the bricks. Line of sight. Line it up with my camera. Horizontal. Change my height with the camera. Horizontal's now here. That line's going up. That line's going down. That is horizontal. You cannot deny the fact of horizontal perspective. And if you do, that's probably why you believe that water curves over the edge of a spinning space ball. You fucking morons. Pardon me, I need a drink. So we'll go back to this again. Horizontal viewing height. There's your 90-degree angle. What globers like to say, because they like to think they live on a globe, they'll say, here's the guy standing here, and he's looking out this way, but here, for some reason, is his horizon, so he's always looking down at it. Why is he looking down at it? Why are you looking down at the horizon when you should be looking out across? So you curve, okay. I'm doing a glober, major distortion here. He's only this big, and he's looking out across here. So his horizon is actually here. He's 3 miles, and that's where he's saying that's where it starts curving away beneath it. But if you got higher and looked across further, do you have to look down to see around it? No, because this point has become a point you cannot see beyond. And fuck yeah, while I'm at it, I'm going to finish this on a finale, a very gnarly finale for the globe heads. And this one is going to hurt you in the regions that your mother told you shouldn't be touched. Okay, so it's very hard to draw a spinning ball. Let's just say we've got a spinning ball and it's spinning towards the east, right? So it's going that way. And we've got a magical sun out here somewhere, and it's just like granting light onto this and using all its gravity to pull it towards us. Let's forget about the moon. The moon, you don't count. You're fucked. You haven't got a chance in this equation. So as the Earth is spinning this way, right? And here's the sun shedding its light. The most it's going to hit, you know, we'll call that day. We'll call that night. And we'll say that, you know, there's your terminator line. There's your terminator line. And so as the sun sets, because of your spinning, so you're spinning away from the sun, that's your sunset, right? Poor old moon. You need more craters. Alright. So as your part of the Earth is spinning that direction to create a sunset, okay? It's definitely an E. As it's setting, you're going like 1,000, oh hang on, don't do a K when you mean an M, miles per motherfucking hour. Let's just say, okay, well, you're only here, and the equator is the 1,000 or 1,040. Then down here might be, say, 800. It's still fucking fast. Speed of sound is 767. I checked. So anyway, you're down here, you're at the American part, going upside down, you know, because everybody has to go upside down if you're on a ball. Let me draw America, hang on. That looks like it. So you're on the big, America, and you're going upside down. The sun is setting at this point, but you're going to send a drone upwards. So upwards is down, of course, because that's what globers believe. There is no up or down on a ball. As it's spinning that direction, and upwards is going towards the center of the Earth at 800 miles per hour. This motherfucker here, right, sending up a drone at what? Oh, you know, 30 meters per second, if he's lucky. I don't know. I've never actually used a drone. He's sending it up pretty fast. This ball is spinning so fast this way that going up keeps going away. See what I mean? It's going away from the sun. It's not going back over the curve to see the sun come back into view. And yet, a person down here can keep sending his little drone up and up and up. Denying every known measurement of either flat Earth or globe. You know, on the globe, it says it's 8 inches per mile squared. So if he's going up and it's going that direction and it's only going 8 inches, he's going here. Meanwhile, the sun is rapidly going over there. You've got no hope in hell of seeing as the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles per hour that way. If this fucking thing can't go back over the physical curve to see the sun again. Anyway, I rest my case. I need to sit down and have a beer. This has been a long day. I'd like to thank all the Karens, especially Karen B. She's awesome. Amy Newman, I think that's a classic. You're cool. I like you a lot, but you're not really my type. I'd like to thank my fiance. She is the best of the best. She keeps me going no matter how insane I get. And I'd like to thank also quite a few of my faithful followers, because some of you blokes bloody absolutely rock, and I won't single you out, but you're bloody absolutely rock. I'd also like to thank my antagonists, like, you know, Quag from Fight Flat Oof. I think he's been reasonably useful in his day. He also got his little TS buddy, what's his name? Odd Team Skeptic. They're all great, you know, like, been very helpful. The thing is, I know exactly how the flat earth model works. And if there's something that I haven't explained clearly, please feel free to, you know, come and do some graphics for me, because I'm not real good at that sort of stuff. Because it should be basic, obvious to anybody. We're not living on a spinning space ball. Apart from that, I think I've covered most of the things I wanted to cover. And when I remember the things that I forgot, I'll remember not to forget them next time. Cheers. Flat Earth Aussie Roscoe. Not here to ridicule you, just here to educate.